Every Marvel movie ever.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Every Marvel Movie Ever podcast. I'm your host, Gabe Thomas. With me, as always, is your co-host, Francisco Alcala.
Who doesn't know how to sit in a chair, but we won't talk about that.
He has fallen over twice in the span of like 5 minutes. This is our second podcast that we've done today. We'll talk about the one we just did at the end.
We have a very special episode also coming this week, hopefully.
Hopefully.
If Gabe can do his job.
Yes, my job.
The goal is to have this one up first, and then our special episode will be up, I don't know, Saturday? Sunday?
Very soon after.
Hopefully within the weekend.
Hopefully,
Maybe
yes.
Monday.
I don't want to put a date on it, but yes,
Yeah.
we have a very special episode
Expect
coming up.
it in the next couple days.
Yeah. Really making this difficult for me.
That's the goal, but knowing us, it'll probably be like 2 weeks late.
Yeah. I've been pretty spot on recently.
Yeah,
I like to think.
You've been doing
Getting them out
pretty
on
okay.
time.
Mostly because you lock yourself in your room for like
Hours
a
and
full like
hours.
6 hours
Yeah.
just cranking them out.
I
But
do.
that's fine.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I think that's what it's called.
That is what it's called. How would that not be what it's called?
I don't know. Maybe it's Fantastic Four 2: Rise of the Silver Surfer. I don't know.
Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah,
That's
that would
actually
look so
fucking
gross.
disgusting. This was released on June 15th of 2007 with a budget of $130, and it made $301.9. So it's pretty good. Director Tim Story returning from the first Fantastic Four. Returning with him is writer Mark Frost and Don Payne, who worked on The Simpsons for a while. He was a longtime writer and producer. He worked on a movie that fascinates me, but I've never seen it. My Super Ex-Girlfriend with Uma Thurman.
That sounds not good.
It's from like 2006. She's a superhero, and
I kind of got that
Yeah.
from the title.
I love early bad superhero movies, like before the big superhero boom happened.
All
I
of
don't
the
think
movies
that.
before it.
I think we need to address that the next episode is Iron Man.
Iron.
Iron Man. Iron Man. I know.
Okay.
I'm just,
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
just,
I
I'm
was
just trying
just
to
really
fuck with you.
confused.
Yeah, no, I don't say it
Anyway,
like that.
Yeah, this is the last non-MCU. Well,
No, it's the
okay,
last
we're next
movie
week.
before the MCU
Yeah,
starts.
starting next week, we're gonna be in the MCU era. There's still a couple more non-MCU movies. Like we have Ghost Rider 2. We have the other Punisher.
The other
movie.
Spider-Man movies, all sorts of stuff coming out.
There's
so,
no more Spider-Man movies.
Franny,
Never mind.
use your head. And,
Anyway,
Don Payne also notably for this podcast wrote the first 2 Thor movies or co-wrote them. So we all know how you feel about those. And then John Turman, who Hulk 2003, and notably to Paul in particular, Ben 10 Alien Swarm, I think is what it's called. We've talked about it before.
what a good show.
Straight to Nickelodeon,
It was not on Nickelodeon.
Cartoon Network.
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
You're not a true 2000s kid.
You're a true 2000s kid if you remember this.
Those are my favorite videos on YouTube when
least
it's like,
favorite
if you don't recognize at least
BuzzFeed
10 of
posts.
these shows, then
Jeez,
you're not
I
a
hate it.
true 2000s kid.
Awful.
You know Ed, and Eddie.
I do know Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah, you should.
I do. I
'Cause
was
you're
there.
not. You weren't born.
Am I not a true 2000s kid? Is that what you're trying to tell
Yeah,
me?
you weren't. You weren't born. Just period.
If you heard that intro, I don't know if we put it on. I'll cut this part out if
Hopefully
we didn't.
did.
If
'cause
there's
that
an
is some
intro-
gold.
Take one guess as to who that was.
It's a very easy guess.
It's Paul, of course. Paul made us that
Our
incredible
#1
intro
fan.
on his phone in 10 seconds. Thank you, Paul. Hopefully we'll play that for every episode.
Yeah, that's better than the stock music that we've had.
I don't really use
All
it anymore.
Really?
Usually I'll use a clip from the movie or I'll use a song from the movie or something.
Okay, that's a lot better.
Sometimes I'll still do it.
Fun fact, I don't watch our episodes.
Why would you? That's weird. I mean, I guess I think that's weird because I'm the one who edits it, and so you don't know all the weird shit I put in.
feel
but
like
it's
you
not
should
important.
at least watch a little just to make sure it's not absolute garbage. But I know
Maybe,
it's absolute
maybe.
garbage.
Thanks. Yeah.
No, your work is fine. Just the podcast is
No, I
bad.
feel you. I feel you. So Damn. No, that's all good. What's the plot of this movie? Pretty simple. My hands
Sue
are so clean.
and Reed are trying to get married, and the entire movie they can't, but then at the end of the movie they do. That's the entire plot.
I don't think that's the most important thing that happens.
No, Galactus decides that Earth sucks, so he sends the Silver Surfer to go turn the Earth into a bowling ball or something. He puts a bunch of holes in different countries, and then the Silver Surfer...
I'm turn into a bowling ball. I didn't understand what you were going at for a second. It's a solid joke.
Yeah.
Good work. Hope you fall over, bitch.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up how solid of a joke it was, completely ruining it.
I didn't understand.
So then the Silver Surfer gets taken in by the government, and he's a really weird color, and he's like, Sue,
like pencil color.
Yeah, he's like, Sue, you remind me of my wife from my planet. Also, I serve Galactus because if I don't, he's gonna kill all my people. And then Silver Surfer kamikazes himself straight into Galactus at the end of the movie, and then everyone lives happily ever after.
It's true. It's true.
Also, Chris Evans turns into the Thing for a few minutes.
Yeah. I think I
Major plot point.
I told Paul to make that the YouTube thumbnail. So if you're watching that on YouTube, also all the new thumbnails that are great from Paul.
Yeah,
not
of
the
course.
shitty ones I slapped together anymore.
You know what?
which
Paul
is
is literally
Paul
just
is
a
the
part
pa-
of the show.
He's the patron saint of this podcast.
He's like the unpaid, he's the unpaid intern of the show.
And he will continue to be unpaid. So,
Thank you for your slave labor, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. I really like this movie.
I kind of like this movie.
It's dumb, and there is one major element that lets the whole thing down. I think this would be so much better if it wasn't for that fucking space cloud. It's awful.
You mean Galactus?
No, it's
The
a
World
fucking
Destroyer?
It's a cloud. It's a cloud.
The professional bowler?
Big cloud. Yeah, it's
Yeah, he's just a giant cloud. He kind of has like a red outline at the end of the movie, but like barely.
You see the shadow of his helmet on a planet. I could not imagine. We talk about this a lot because we're younger and we didn't see these movies in theaters, but I could not imagine being in a theater in 2007 because you don't see Galactus until like the hour 10-minute mark, and the first time that you see him, you see the shadow of the helmet on the planet, and it's like, oh my god, we have comic accurate Silver
it's literally
Surfer.
the perfect outline.
Are we about to see Galactus? No, it's a fucking cloud.
Which, by the way, the Silver Surfer looks amazing in this movie.
It's the
effects,
standout thing
that's
in this
probably
film.
where most of the budget went,
You
honestly.
always say that. I don't know if you know how budgets work.
I do
or
not.
CGI characters. or
Yeah,
effects.
I don't at all.
But he looks incredible. It's really great how like reflective he is. Like he's
Only
always
when he's on his
casting
board, though. When he gets off,
shadows.
he looks a little off.
Well, it's because he is a little off because he's fucked up.
Yeah.
I think
he still
it's
looks
fine.
good, though.
He still looks good.
He just
That's
looks off.
Doug Jones doing the body. He's a weird skinny guy who's like, he's Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies. He does so much work. He was the Fishman in Shape of Water, so he works with Guillermo del Toro all the time. He's doing the body, and then the voice is Lawrence Fishburne, which is really great. Originally, before they decided to fuck the whole movie up, they were going to have Lawrence Fishburne voice Galactus, which would have been incredible,
I feel like
and they didn't do it.
I feel like Lawrence Fishburne's voice for Galactus would have been a little weird.
I think it would be... All right, who do you picture when you think of Galactus? Who would voice him?
Not
For some
Lawrence
reason, I thought
Fishburne.
Christopher Walken. I don't know why.
that
I'm
that
gonna
is
eat
a
your
Galact-
planet.
I will eat your planet.
Give me the fire.
I'm terrible at actors, as you probably know.
You're terrible at a lot of things, but yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
But I picture probably someone with a deeper voice. It's kind of weird. James Earl Jones, maybe?
No, that's not weird. I like that. That works.
Yeah,
That
I don't know what it
definitely
is
works.
about it, but like he has a deep kind of like bassy voice, and I feel like that works for literally a giant being the size of like 10 planets.
Yeah, and we should mention that Lawrence Fishburne. This is, I think, is his first superhero movie, but he was Perry White in the DC EU. So
He was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
yeah, exactly. That's the
I
other
don't know
one.
what character he was.
I think that's it. He was Goliath, and
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah.
So Goliath, who never like becomes a big guy, which is his power. It
And
doesn't happen.
And therefore, I don't think he's ever mentioned by that.
He's
is he?
D8. No, they do, because
Oh, okay.
him and like Scott Lang compare sizes or whatever.
Yeah.
How big did you get?
My record, 21 feet.
Not bad.
You?
65 feet. Yeah.
Huge.
65.
It's like, oh, I could get like 30.
I've seen the movie once, so.
Yeah. I've seen the movie a lot of times for some reason. I just see all these movies way too much.
Yeah, because you're weird.
Have you seen this before?
No.
Oh,
Of course
okay.
not.
Yeah. I watched it.
No, I think I might have seen part of it because on the 3 FX channels that there are on cable, they play this movie all the time. Probably at least once or twice a week. They love this movie.
Yeah, I remember that back when I had cable.
Yeah,
that happened constantly.
Very often, and
Which
I've seen
is-
parts of it.
That's why I've seen it so much, because I would always watch it when it was on FX.
Or
'Cause I-
FXX, or FXM,
or
FXXXXX. FXXX.
F triple X. That's the porno channel. Yeah, why did I say that?
I just turned off my microphone on accident.
No, you can keep it off. That's fine.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, so I've seen this quite a bit, but I haven't seen it in a while. I like it, and I don't think it's a nostalgia thing. I think it's a lot more fun than that first movie. There isn't tons of setup, and I think the character stuff is better in this, which usually I say the first one has better character development, like with the X-Men movies, or maybe that's the only example, because I think Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 1 at setting things up. I think I like this movie more as far as all the characters around it and developed. You get to see all of them use their powers. Sue is treated like trash in this movie.
And she also gets naked again in this movie, and they make the exact same joke.
Yeah.
She acknowledges it, which doesn't make it funny.
Doesn't make it funny or less sleazy. And she's just kind of constantly... I don't like how easily she lets Reed off the hook. Like, he keeps doing pretty sleazy things, and then she's just like, oh, you did it for the greater good, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean...
9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5.
Reed is kind of sleazy in this movie, but at the same time, consider that there's a giant cloud monster, and also the entire world is going to shit.
No, it's his
So, like,
character.
I
Reed
think
Richards-
you gotta
go
have
ahead.
priorities.
That's true, but Reed Richards is always a dick. Like, in the comics, he's a bad person. He always ends up being like a... Like, in his future versions of him, they're always, like, evil or whatever, so... It's okay. I'm just like, yeah, it sucks. And it sucks that how Sue's kind of treated like whatever in this movie. Because you have to look out for that in the early 2000s. Like, women are not being very
Just like
utilized in
now.
movies. Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, no,
there's
that-
more of
yeah.
a push now. But yeah, it's not great. So that sucks.
I mean, she's specifically treated like shit, but like only by Reed. Everyone else treats her pretty good, I think.
I like her and Johnny more. Like, they have a better brother-sister
Yeah.
connection.
You know, you don't look completely ridiculous in that dress.
Is that obnoxious brother talk for you look kind of nice?
You look beautiful.
I don't. I just. The thing about Sue is, like, all she wants is to get married and to stand by Reed and all these things. Like, she just wants to be a bride. Like, that's kind of weird. I don't. Like, that's fine. I know that that's, like, a central plot point. And I think the Fantastic Four movie from 2015 is the only one that doesn't have some sort of marriage thing, because the last one they get married at the end.
Yeah.
This one there's a wedding. There's a wedding in the 90s one.
Probably because all of the main cast are like 20.
Sure, I
They're,
think
like,
it's yeah,
super
it's
young.
True. That's true. Yeah, that movie's not good.
We'll get there.
With Paul, remember we have to get Paul for that
yeah,
one.
we gotta have a debate.
That'll be fun. We'll Skype him in.
Yeah,
Again.
a 2-on-1 debate.
yeah, we're gonna annihilate him. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just like Galactus is really.
Yeah,
It's-
Galactus is not good.
I love the action in this movie. I love Silver Surfer. I love the Fantastic Car. That's incredible. That was like really well hidden.
Yeah, you know, that kind of came out of nowhere. I was not expecting.
Well, because it's like a not sure. I always forget, and I always bring it up. Chekhov's gun, where it's like you see a gun in the first act, it gets fired in the third act. In this, you see something under some sheets in the first act, and Johnny's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
It's a
Third
thing.
act, it shows up. And it's the Fantastic Car, and that was like a really well hidden secret. That wasn't in any of the advertising. There weren't toys of it until afterwards, probably. But like, that's such a nice surprise because that's such a comic booky thing. Just like the Silver Surfer is, just like Doctor Doom riding a surfboard is, just like Chris Evans having the weird Super Scroll powers is. All these things are so wacky, so why not have a giant man try to eat the universe?
I have I don't know how I feel about Doctor Doom in this movie.
He looks better,
Yeah,
and he isn't like. I don't know, go ahead.
Okay, he looks better. Also, the weird face stuff isn't like his skin anymore. It's just a helmet. So for some of the movie, he's like in a hood or whatever, and he has like weird burns or something,
Mm-hmm.
but then they're just gone.
Because
Did
when
they ever explain that?
the Silver Surfer, when he like blasts him,
Oh,
it heals him
okay.
because it happens right after that, and he's
okay.
like coming back together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's explained. I just wish that he was fucked up for the whole movie.
Yeah, they did one good thing and they fixed his weird skin thing. So
Yeah.
metal
He's still
skin is
shooting lightning
stupid.
though.
Yeah, but I mean, he only does that at like right at the end of the movie, so that's fine.
Sure.
And then he
yeah.
becomes the Silver Surfer for a little bit,
Which is
and then he fucking dies.
yeah. Then he fucking dies. It's really wacky when he's surfing around, and doesn't Ben say like "surfs up, dude" or something?
No,
Somebody says
but
that?
Surf's up, metalhead!
I think somebody says that.
I don't think somebody says it.
Surf's up, metalhead!
I think
but I
somebody
know-
says it.
Every single line that comes out of his mouth is a pun.
Let's all go for spin!
I'm gonna put in the clip of somebody saying "surfs up, dude," and Franny's gonna look dumb.
That's fine.
Surf's up, metalhead!
Let's go for a spin.
Yeah, we get actually Paul commented on it. We've talked about this in our first Fantastic Four episode, but I just want to read what Paul said. Classic Ben doesn't want to be the Thing and then does,
Hey, it's me! I'm back!
which at the end of this movie, he's not the Thing. And that scene when he turns into Michael Chiklis again, he's like, "It's me, I'm back," and it's like,
Yeah,
wow.
when Chris Evans is the Thing instead.
yeah, that's a weird image, but
Yeah, I don't like that. Very
no,
much.
it's weird.
Also, why is Chris Evans' voice not changed when he's the Thing?
Come on! We just said this is serious!
I don't think Michael Chiklis' voice is.
It is a
changed.
little bit. It's like a little
just gruffer?
He makes it a little like gravelly.
Maybe that's something that. Oh my god. Maybe that's
I'm sorry.
something that that's something that Ben Grimm just does. Maybe that's just
Maybe.
a conscious effort. He's like, "Oh, I got to sound the part. If I look the part."
Yeah, I just
whatever."
thought it was weird that like he
It's an
changes his
interesting point,
voice,
yeah.
but then when Chris Evans becomes the Thing, he doesn't change his voice. It's just Chris Evans being a big rock man.
Better hair in this one. You know who doesn't have better hair? Sue Storm. She's wearing a wig in this one. She dyed it in the last one. Looks bad.
I didn't even notice.
Looks
I don't
bad.
care.
Looks bad.
You know,
Looks bad.
I couldn't tell if with Reed they were trying to do the silver streak. I couldn't tell. He has like a weird. It's like shaved, kind of weird.
It
And
was toned down. It just looked like skin.
I think in some scenes it is gray, but other scenes it just looks like he shaved his sideburns really weird.
It was gray in the last one for sure. I'm pretty sure at the end of
Was it?
that movie,
I
he
think
looks
it
like
was.
Reed Richards
I
with
don't
the
know.
like salt and pepper and the
Yeah,
hair.
there's just something that looks a little bit off about it.
No, I felt that too. You know what? A gag I kind of enjoy is if we're talking about like physical appearances. I liked when Johnny came with the super
sponsors?
merched out,
Yeah.
super suits. That's fun. That's cute. It's like, oh, I got the new suits. I like that. I always thought that was a funny gag because it's like, yeah, I guess in this kind of universe, especially where Johnny Storm's such this weird public celebrity, they would have like NASCAR outfits.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Like literally, it's just so weird to see so many brands. Like
Yeah, it's like Gillette.
yeah,
And
do you
Doritos
think
or
do you think
whatever.
they actually got sponsorships
Oh, for
for
sure.
the movie?
Yeah,
from
for sure.
all
Absolutely,
those.
yeah. Because I mean, there's also other sponsorships. Like there's like Circuit City and stuff. They're watching the news.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's some other
there's a lot of
things I
brands in this movie.
can't remember. Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the 2000s.
That's what you do. We still do that.
yeah,
We
I
still
mean,
have that. Can't. What was the last like big product placement in an Avengers movie though? Other than like Audis, which is in everything. Oh, you know what? You know what's kind of I love the Fantastic Car. I don't love that it's like a Hemi Cuda. And Johnny's like, oh my god. And
Oh,
Reed's
yeah,
like,
they-
of course.
Yeah, they bring it up. It's like, why?
It's because they're probably being paid to do it.
oh yeah, probably.
It's so dumb that it's like a branded car, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Why?
It's
Why does it
still.
need to be branded?
I'll
It's-
take it. I'll take it.
Whatever.
You know what? Whatever. I like that we have the Fantastic Car that they divide, and I like that
Yeah.
Johnny's like, I can fly this thing, and Reed's like, shut the fuck up, I'm flying it. Okay,
Yeah.
I built this.
I don't know what's so funny about seeing the Silver Surfer like with a seatbelt
Sitting
on.
down? I know,
yeah,
it's adorable.
Just him sitting in a pretty much a car.
Yeah.
Like, with a seatbelt like over his chest. There's just something so funny about that to me.
We need to talk about the wedding scene just in its entirety, not even just the fight, because first off, it starts with like, this is, I think, since Howard the Duck, maybe until Spider-Verse, this is the only PG Marvel movie. This is a PG movie. You can't really
sure?
tell, but it is, yeah, for sure. I wouldn't just say that. That's a weird thing. But
yeah, that's
it feels like
Yeah.
about the same as the last one. Except, I mean, I guess in the last one, Doctor Doom's like frying holes in guys, and he doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
He decimates Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, though.
Yes, Queen.
General
Oh yeah, that guy's
Hagar.
just fucking. He's gone.
That's a pretty cool moment though. He got
Yeah.
destroyed. And what's funny is I was watching that show with my dad last night,
Cowabunga, mother.
and it was on, and that character was on screen, and I was like, you know what he's in?
Yeah,
Rise
you
of the
know,
Silver Surfer.
I didn't even. I recognized him, and I had no clue where.
Vindication.
Got to get your start somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is where he started.
Probably not.
It's supposed to be Nick Fury, the character, which that would have been
could see it.
hilarious if Nick Fury was that, and then the MCU's like, fuck, what do we do from here?
Just replace him, just like we replaced. Who was the actor for? Fuck.
Edward Norton?
No, in the first Iron Man, and then he got
Terrence
replaced.
Howard with
Yeah,
Don
there you go.
Cheadle, yeah.
We'll just replace him like we did with Terrence Howard.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I guess. Well, I mean, just not the actor, the character.
Oh,
like,
okay.
General Hager's character was going to be Nick Fury
Yeah,
in this
well,
movie.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like that was him in this movie, and then
Oh,
the
you
MCU's
would've
like,
been
fuck.
Yeah, that's
so
what
then
I'm
they
saying.
just replace him with Samuel L. Jackson.
As who?
No, I'm saying
Wait,
that
what are you saying right
well,
now?
Nick Fury, right?
Oh, no.
Okay,
If-
he
if
was
he-
supposed to be.
If Nick Fury was in this movie, Nick Fury would not have been an Iron Man, because then Fox would have that character.
I did not even think about that.
Fucking
I am
idiot.
stupid.
Fall back in
Podcast
your
is
chair
over.
right now.
You know what?
Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
So the reason I bring up the rating is because there's like a pretty graphic sex joke at the start of this wedding where,
Oh I forgot about that.
yeah, I'll just put the clip in.
So, seems like you and Alicia are doing well.
I'm a lucky guy.
Question for you though. How do you guys
That's none of your business.
Okay, all right. I'm just concerned. I'd hate to wake up one morning and find out she was killed in a rock slide.
But that's pretty fucked. What a weird thing to put in a movie for children.
I'm just concerned.
It's a good joke,
Yeah,
but it's
a
like,
good
wow.
joke, but not the right movie. I don't
pretty
think.
intense. From there on, we get the moment that we bring up a lot, which I loved as like a really young kid when I was watching this movie all the time. Don't love now the Stan Lee cameo.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really.
Nice
I'm
try.
Stan
Yeah.
Lee.
I used to think that was so
I'm
funny.
Stan Lee.
I thought that was hilarious that he like broke the fourth wall almost. Not even, but just like
Yeah, just-
reference, because that's the only time that's happened.
But okay, so from what the guy says, not Stan Lee, but the other guy with
Yeah.
the list. So Stan Lee is a person in this universe.
Who is well known, and
Who- yeah,
people are
who's-
like, you couldn't be Stan Lee.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Are Fantastic Four comics in the Fantastic Four universe?
Maybe
Does
it's
Stan Lee write them?
Maybe it's just Stan Lee, and he writes everything except Fantastic Four. Like the Fantastic Four comics don't exist, but there's still like X-Men and Spider-Man comics and stuff.
That
But
would
we
be
shouldn't have to
weird.
think about it.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I
It's like it's cute, and it's not like a bad moment. It's just kind of
It's-
problematic when you think about it. In
yeah.
a weird way.
If you think about it too hard, then it's like, why is Stan Lee an important person in this universe?
yeah.
Why could it not be Stan Lee?
Yeah, it's and also a public figure who people know, and like you couldn't be Stan Lee.
Yeah. It's very obviously Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Do
no
people-
one looks like
yeah,
Stan
do people
Lee.
not know what Stan Lee looks like?
Except maybe Larry King. Because Stanley shows up as Larry King in Iron Man 2, but we'll get
Oh,
to
yeah,
that
he
when we get
does.
to that.
I
And
remember
Hugh
that.
Hefner in Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
That's a good joke that isn't followed up on in the third one, sadly, because different director, but I enjoy that. We'll get
Stan Lee
we're almost
cameos
there.
are good.
Oh, yeah, they are. This is just one of my least favorite. It's one of the most creative, so I feel bad saying that, but it's just kind of
I
weird.
mean, is it creative?
I think that's funny to have him be like part of a guest list. I think that's a good.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, you know what? Some motherfucker has Stan Lee's line from the first movie in this movie when they get back to the Baxter Building, and he says the exact same dialogue.
yeah, and it's a
And he's
completely
cut
different
off.
guy.
I will say that this guy seems to just be like a doorman, not Willie Lumpkin the mailman, who Stanley was in the first one. But also, what the fuck? Same universe, right? As the first movie. He's Willie Lumpkin the mailman, and he's Stan Lee.
You know what?
Or was Stanley a mailman named Willie Lumpkin first? Because Stanley isn't Stanley's real name. So
You know what it could be.
I'm ready for this to be
So-
dumb.
Yeah, it's gonna be so dumb. So Stan Lee in that universe is the guy. already forgot his name.
Willie Lumpkin,
Yeah.
yes.
So he is
No,
Willie Lumpkin.
say it, Franny. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Clip that.
No, wait, make it
Yeah.
clean one.
Willie Lumpkin.
That's gonna be important.
So maybe Stanley looks different in this universe since Stanley is Willie Lumpkin. So technically, it couldn't be Stanley because Stanley looks different.
Maybe Willie Lumpkin is pretending to be Stanley because they look exactly the same.
Or
And he's
maybe they
trying to
just
get into
didn't think
party.
this through.
Why wouldn't Reed Richards invite Willie Lumpkin to his wedding?
I don't. Maybe he got
Why
fired.
would Stanley be on the guest list?
Look,
Why would Stanley show up looking exactly like Stanley apparently being on the guest list, and them turning him away thinking he's someone else, if Stanley is already on the guest list and somebody that Reed Richards apparently knows?
This is a really dumb, 2-second scene that we're overthinking.
That's our job, is to overthink dumb nerd things.
That's fair.
So people can complain about it, but whatever.
best
Can't
one,
get over that.
best Stanley cameo. Which one?
Ever. What?
Which one?
In a Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Not including Mallrats? Because that's like a whole other thing.
Just which one's the best one?
I would love to rank them one day. I would love
we
for
should
us
do-
to rank
yeah,
them.
we should
like
do that
when
as
we're
an
done.
episode, yeah.
We should. I don't know my number one off the top. There's ones that I love, but I don't know if I could pick a number one. The one that comes to my mind first is always in The Amazing Spider-Man when he's the librarian and they're fighting behind him.
I love
That's
that
incredible.
one.
That's one of the best parts of that movie.
I really like. Is it? It might be Guardians of the Galaxy, or it's one of the space ones when they reveal that he's one of the Watchers.
Guardians
that
of the
one,
Galaxy,
yeah,
yeah.
that one will always be my
Volume
favorite.
2.
Yeah.
Volume 2, yeah. Yeah, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite,
Because
honestly.
they confirmed it. That's awesome.
And the Deadpool one, that's fun.
Yeah.
Because it's wow, it's
Yeah.
Stanley.
Really.
Just making him say all these things. It's hilarious.
Tony Stank.
That's a good one, too. See, there's so many good ones.
Because Stanley's just amazing.
But this is probably the worst one.
Do you think Stanley made his own cameos? Do you think they just let him do
No,
whatever he wanted?
I think...
Was it in the contract that he had to be written into the script?
I don't think so. I think they were just like, oh, this is a fun thing that we've been doing for a while.
Yeah, I would like to think that it's just a fun little thing that they do.
Yeah, I don't think it's Stanley being like, you better put me in your movie.
I need to be in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm Stan Lee.
It's me. I'm on the list. Yeah, no, it's a weird thing. But from that point on in the wedding, we get an amazing action sequence, which first the helicopter crash is really crazy. And then it's followed up by an amazing chase between Johnny Storm and Silver Surfer, which is just such a fun moment.
Yeah, I don't know what was so cool about seeing Silver Surfer just go through a bunch of things. He flies through a bus.
Yeah, and when he flies out of the building, that's like the money shot. That whole sequence is like, look how good our effects are.
Yeah,
guys.
I
They're
think-
really good. And we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
I don't know what's so cool about this one either. Just him sinking through his board upside down.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Actually, no, my favorite part is when he probably goes into space with Johnny Storm and then lets him go.
Just drops him.
I think if you time that makes sense, because I looked it up after that scene happened.
What do you
like,
mean?
how long can someone breathe in space without dying?
Oh.
You can be in there for 15 seconds and then you pass out. And so I think that's okay, because you don't die until 90 seconds maybe? So,
Probably. I don't know how space works. I don't know how a lot of things work.
me either, but I looked it up, because I was like, can that happen? And it doesn't matter, but...
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that high up anyway, so...
No,
I
it was
don't
like in
think it
Dark
matters.
Phoenix when they're like, we're going to space, and you barely go out of the atmosphere. Like, wow, guys, you went to space.
Cyclops laser.
Cyclops laser, plug in. Plug and play, Cyclops laser.
Plug and play.
I would love to be that Cyclops for Halloween with the laser attached to my face, like with just the big pole walking around.
Yeah, you know,
Can't see anything.
that's a pretty good costume.
That'd be hilarious.
That should be this year's Halloween costume.
Oh,
We've already got it
jeez.
planned
Oh,
out.
God. You know, one year, of course, I was Tony Stark with a bucket of ashes, Peter Parker's ashes, to be clear.
Amazing.
I'm very proud of that costume. The next year, I really wanted to be brain dead Tony Stark after the snap, just walking
Yeah.
around with my face all fucked
What
up.
did you end up being? I don't remember. Because you didn't end up doing that.
Why can't I remember?
Did you do
Oh,
anything?
I was Stu from Scream. That's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah, that's right.
And I got
you
retweeted
yeah.
by Matthew Lillard, so I'll take it.
Fuck off.
Finally, is the sweater still here?
Alright, so what's this year's? Do you have it yet?
I don't know. No. Because I put a lot of thought in my Halloween costume, so it's going to be some time. That's one time where I'm like, I like what I do here. I enjoy my Halloween costumes.
Well, my entire family also puts a lot of thought into ours. We spend the entire year planning it.
Yeah, that's good. I always...
Yeah.
I never know what it's going to be until I see it. Like, it's like, oh, maybe I'll be these things that'd be funny, but then I'm like, I have a thought, and I'm like, that's it.
No,
That's
we
what I
already
gotta
have
do.
ours planned out, and we're just figuring out like how we're gonna do it.
Because you guys always go as like a group
Yeah,
and like
and
coordinated.
We always pick
which is
them.
cool.
We always pick them either like in November. It's like between November and like February is when we're figuring out what we're gonna be, and then the rest of the year is just planning it out.
Yeah, my family usually doesn't. I think it's just because we all do our own things on Halloween. But I don't think we've ever coordinated. I think one year we all went as DC characters, and the thing was I was Batman and my dad was Robin, so it was like flipped.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we did like a medieval theme once, or it was like I was like a weird court jester or whatever. I can't remember, but usually we're just like,
You
yeah, well,
fucking
just
clown.
do whatever we want. Yeah, it's because I'm a fucking clown. That's exactly why. There's not too many huge action sequences in this movie, but the ones that there are really cool.
I mean, at least it's consistent with the last one.
It's a
There
really
wasn't-
short movie.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Actually, you know what? There are quite a bit of action sequences. I don't know why I said
Really?
that. We have the wedding one. We have the woods. We have the final one, and then we have where they're all trying to keep the Ferris wheel up. Like 4 major action sequences in an hour-and-a-half movie. That's a lot. That's plenty. So
Yeah, I guess.
that's good. Yeah, because when I was thinking about
They
it, I was
just-
like, there aren't that many, but yeah,
It's.
there
I
are.
think
They
it might
stretch 'em
be
out.
just because they don't last that long.
Maybe other than like the last one, which that's
Well, because
that's a good size fight. Yeah,
But the other ones only last like 5 minutes probably.
sure.
So
Which, you know, that's
it
enough
adds
for me.
up, but they're just spaced out so much that you kind of just forget that there's a lot of action scenes.
I
in
like
this.
most of what's in between, though. I like a lot of the characters, even though everyone is such a cardboard cutout. But then again, if you go back to the old comics, they are like that. So they're pretty accurate, I think, for the most part. There's a Batman reference, actually, where someone's like, it's just the two of us. What are we going to be called? How about the dynamic duo?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wow. Good job, guys. You guys
Really?
are cool. You've read comics.
Yeah.
Wow.
You must have been paid a whole lot of money to write that joke.
Wow. I love you, Mark Frost. I'm sorry. I'll never make fun of you again. Laura Palmer.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Owen Wilson and Loki.
I fucking cannot believe
I
that he's in
know.
Loki.
You know, do you,
The IGN post was so unfunny.
what was it? I can't remember.
It's the
I
same.
didn't read it,
It's
I
the.
just
s-
saw it.
I didn't send it to you because it was
Oh,
so
okay.
unfunny. It's the same format as always with like the text at the bottom and then the picture.
Yeah.
All of the text in it was just wow over and over again.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, and then the caption was like normal, but the title was wow, and then all the text under the title was wow.
I've heard a pretty incredible fan
Wait,
cast.
let me find it. What?
Owen Wilson as Throg, the Frog of Thunder.
Yes.
1000%. Either that or Beta Ray Bill, but I would prefer Throg for sure.
What did you say?
Beta Ray Bill, you know, the big horse-faced alien.
Yeah,
Thor?
yeah, I know what you said, but why do you say it like that?
How do you say it?
Beta.
No.
It's not beta.
Beta Ray?
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
Beta
wrong.
Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray. No, that sounds wrong to me.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
Beat your ass, Bill.
Beat your ass, Bill.
Yeah, Wow and Wowson casting.
Oh, yeah, that's not
Yeah,
funny.
this is
You
so-
still liked it, though.
Yeah,
Fucking hack.
Yeah, because fucking whatever.
Mindless internet slave.
Yeah, you know what? I just kind of scroll through Instagram and like things. The thing that they posted right before was this, so, and I also
saw
liked
that.
it,
I saw
so.
that. That's not that funny.
Yeah, no, IGN is not very funny, but it's where I get a lot of my news.
I know, and it's where I get my news because it's what you send to me. Is usually when I
Yeah,
find things out.
I think that's why I followed IGN. Like, I followed it specifically to send you news because they have.
You know,
They
they're
post a lot of stuff.
they're helpful. It's what
They're
some
help-
bad jokes. Who cares?
Yeah, they have not great writing, but they're very helpful. They keep up to date with a lot of stuff.
Our show doesn't have great writing. We actually write the scripts for this.
Yeah,
before
we have
record.
fully written scripts
Yeah.
for every episode of the show. We
Can
use
you
a lot
tell?
of paper. Yeah.
Imagine making a transcript for this show. It would be fucking like interrupting and
Oh, my
nothing
f-
nonsense.
there would be so many dashes.
Yeah,
I don't know what
yeah.
I don't know what they're called because I'm stupid, but whatever.
I'm not even gonna tell you.
That's fine. Lots of dashes and lots of ellipses or whatever.
Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know
Don't
what that is,
you don't
man.
know what a hyphen is, and then you know what
Fuck,
a fucking
that's what they're
ellipses
called.
is?
God damn it,
You're
okay.
about to fall over, Franny. I can see it happening.
I
I'm
know,
literally watching.
I could
it
feel
happen.
it.
Oh jeez. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna
You
have
should
to.
just lean forward.
Yeah, again, you should be on the floor, but whatever.
I definitely should. It's where I belong.
Oh man. So let's talk about the bachelor party scene, which
Let's
Another
talk about
scene.
season 21 of The Bachelor.
what
Fuck
are they
this
up to
fuck
season
movie.
21?
I don't know. Probably.
I bet they are, and you know that.
Yes, because I'm the biggest
Somebody
Bachelor
check.
fan.
Somebody check, please. If
Yeah,
he's right, that
well,
means he knows.
You know what? Let's check it right now.
Oh,
Keep
jeez.
talking.
Okay.
Keep saying what you were gonna say. I'll look it up.
So they were like, "Hey, since Reed's getting married, let's throw him a bachelor party where he can like drink and then dance with girls and whatever, and he can do big stretchy dance moves, and it'll be funny, and the kids will clap." And they were right. It was kind of funny.
It was entertaining at least.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered it being when I was like. I think even when I was younger, I was like, "That's not funny," and now
Yeah,
in hindsight, I'm like, "It's kind of
it's-
funny."
It's not a terrible idea, I guess.
It's fun. It's whatever. This is such a fun, dumb movie. Like, it starts. I mean, first, you get the Silver Surfer, but then literally the next scene is like, oh, first class is booked. You guys are going to have to fly coach. And it's like, wow. So what jokes do we do? Oh, of course, Johnny doesn't get on the plane because he doesn't want to fly in coach. The Thing is too big for his seat. Reed Richards steals somebody's storage. Like, it's all like the most obvious jokes, but I'm like, I'm glad that they did this. Because it's such a goofy, fun movie. I like this movie a lot.
I was not correct. I was kind of close though.
Oh God, what season?
So my guess was 21.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah, it's 24.
Okay.
And then The Bachelorette has 15,
I think he knew.
and Bachelor in Paradise has 6.
I thought Bachelorette was a lot newer than it was, I guess.
And there's Bachelor Pad, which has 3.
I don't even know what that is.
And there's The Bachelor Winter Games, which has 1.
Oh, jeez.
And Bachelor in Paradise, which has 2.
Oh my God!
And The
Stop.
Bachelor Canada, which has
No. What
and
about
The Bachelor in New Zealand,
what
which
about
has 3.
Love Island High School? You know what? We're not gonna find
We
out.
don't talk about Love Island High School. We don't
No.
talk about Love Island in general.
Oh, you want to know a weird fucking thing that they did? They were like, this will be a fine marketing tool that won't get us in tons of trouble.
Oh God.
They printed 40,000 U.S. quarters with the Silver Surfer on them.
Why?
Tried to give them out. They still exist. Somehow people have them, but then the U.S. Mint was like, no.
Are they in circulation or is it counterfeit?
I think I don't think you can pay with them.
Okay.
So I think you were supposed to be able to, and they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Why
you know
would
what?
you do this?
I kind of wish that you could actually use them. I wish those were still like around.
I would never use. I would if you look up a picture of them, they're fucking ugly.
Are they?
Like they don't look like what they should look like. It's not like this Silver Surfer is imprinted in chrome or
All
whatever.
right, this is the Google episode of
Yeah.
the podcast.
He looks fucking like it's just a fucking like plastic picture of him.
Yeah, that's about what I expect. You think they actually they spent money on that?
Well, I mean, they would have had to, but I don't think it was
A
that
lot of
much.
money.
At least 40,000. What's 40,000 divided by 4?
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. Sorry,
Okay.
they had to spend at least $10,000 on that then.
Oh God, these are they're gross, but I also just found some really old articles from 2007.
Yeah, it's because that's the last time anyone talked about this.
Yeah, nobody talks about this movie.
They should. It's kind of fun.
Oh God, that's so ugly. It's literally, it looks like they just paste like.
It's just a sticker.
Yeah, it looks like they printed it out and they put a sticker on a quarter.
I bet if you took that sticker off, the other side of the quarter would be there.
Yeah, probably. Also, you can buy it for $36 on eBay.
Jeez, how much do you think they sold those quarters for? It wasn't a quarter, I'll tell you that. It's at least like $1, probably.
Yeah,
Which is insane. Do we want to talk about the Silver Surfer short film that we watched? Like that student film from 1994 or
No.
whatever? Okay.
No.
It exists. I'll leave a link to
Yeah,
it.
it definitely exists, and it's really dumb and confusing.
It features
and
the
looks
Terminator
kinda bad.
prominently. as an action figure.
They actually got Arnold Schwarzenegger to reprise his role.
Yeah, I can't believe they got him for that student film.
Yeah.
I think it's just so much fun, and it's so short that you can't be that angry. Other than the Galactus, which is fucking
Yeah, it's
like
that's a travesty.
you can't even justify that.
It is short. It's a fun hour and a half. I see why people don't like it. It's dumb, but like sometimes it's a little too dumb.
I agree with that, but it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it personally doesn't bother me. I think I still prefer the first one over this one.
Okay, I like this
Ever
one
so
more.
slightly.
Sure, they're pretty close.
Yeah, they're about the same, but I enjoy both of them. I think a lot of the character stuff. I think the character stuff is better in this one.
Yeah, I like the action more, I like the characters more, I like the situations more. Silver Surfer like really ups it by a lot. I don't love how it's like, oh, you remind me of my girlfriend, so I'll save you.
Yeah, that's weird.
In the comics, because this is based on the wedding story is its own story, but it's
The
especially
Galactus
based on
stuff
the
from the
Galactus
70s
trilogy,
or
60s,
80s, whatever.
1966. Fantastic Four 48 through 50. The Galactus trilogy, it's like a super famous run of comics. It's so brief. It's fun to read. It's so goofy.
No, it would have been hilarious if instead of the cloud Galactus, they gave us the weird red and green Galactus. That shit would have been so funny.
Well, that's only at the end of the first issue, and then he's normal Galactus
well,
for the next two for some reason.
It's so ugly, and I wish it would have used
bad.
it.
I'm glad they fixed it so quickly.
Yeah, they fixed it literally the next issue.
Yeah.
I greatly prefer Silver Surfer in this over in the comics, because in the comics he literally was not a character.
Not in that story. He's become incredible since.
That's what I mean. Like in that like run or whatever.
Yeah.
He pretty much had no character. He was just doing it because he was Galactus' servant or whatever. Which
is kind of what happens in this movie until he's.
I mean, he has like a motivation in this.
Yeah.
In that he just kind of did it just because.
I brought that comic up right now because, I mean, one, to compare the Galactus, obviously, and also because, like, Silver Surfer in the comics is changed by Alicia Masters, which is Ben Grimm's girlfriend, and she's like, you know, there's, like, people here, and we're sentient, and there's billions of us, and because all the plants that Galactus absorbs are usually plants that don't have anybody on them, but Earth is, like, kind of an exception where it's like, yeah, there's people here, we're still gonna do it. And Silver Surfer's like...
Because it's Earth, so of course they are.
Yeah, but Silver Surfer's like, oh, wait, that's pretty bad. And then he goes to stop Galactus, which is what happens in this. But in this, it's like, you remind me of a girl I used to know.
Yeah, okay. I prefer the comics because of the Alicia Masters stuff.
And, oh my god,
how they get rid of Galactus I prefer in the movie over the comic.
When he sacrifices himself.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot better than the random, like, Deus Ex Machina that they just have in the comics.
Sure.
They just have, like, that machine that just makes
the ultimate nullifier,
yeah, that
course.
just makes Galactus go away.
Yeah.
Like, I
the
feel
ultimate
like,
nullifier in the hands of a human!
Yeah, I feel like that's really stupid, but having
yeah.
Silver Surfer stop him, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's better. Because he fights him in the comics, but it's like, oh, the Watcher was coaching Johnny Storm through the cosmos to get this thing that we don't even see him get. He just comes back.
It's stupid.
But I can't complain because that is written by Stan Lee and drawn by Jack Kirby, and that has some of the most gorgeous fucking, like, artwork of space I've ever seen. Like, it's incredibly beautiful. Let's just say what other people had to say about it.
Because your opinions matter.
Yeah, they do. That's why I ask for them.
Yep.
Early Cruise on Reddit says, I think they absolutely nailed the look and voice of Silver Surfer, but everything else about the film was pretty mediocre. I quite enjoy both films, even though I think it's nostalgia goggles, but the first was definitely better, so he agrees with you on that. Galactus was pretty awful, but comic book films were nothing compared to what they are now, so I understand them not using his actual look. Even today, I think that would be hard to pass off. Doom was just meh. Looking forward to seeing Marvel handle him, hopefully have him as the next Thanos overarching the next few phases. Yeah, Doctor Doom should be better.
Speaking of Doctor Doom, they just have Latveria in this movie for no reason.
And it's like a weird Victorian town.
Yeah.
It's not like an island.
And it's only in one scene. It's just there because Doctor Doom is there for some reason, and then it's just never brought up again.
And who frees him? There's some weird fucking mole man looking guy.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that. How did the last one end? With
he gets like cement. He gets turned into a statue, and then he gets shipped to Latveria.
Okay.
So that's why he's there, but I don't know how he survived being, like, supernovaed into a metal statue.
Yeah, like, you can't breathe. You're gonna starve.
And Ben Grimm helping Johnny out with a crane is pretty dumb, but I kind of like it. And I kind of like the Super Scroll thing. It's dumb and it looks weird, but it's funny.
It's dumb, but, I mean, it's comics, and I get why it's there, I guess. He was in space, so whatever. Space is weird and superhero stuff. So.
I like that Sue dies also, and then he just brings her back, which is dumb.
Okay, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I felt like there was no point to it.
No, that's really bad, and that's not a power that he has. It's just another dumb, like, oh, bring it in thing. And
Take
then
care of her.
he does. It's like, oh, he has unlimited powers. I guess you can touch him, and then you can transfer your powers to whatever. But that's stupid, but I do like that they're all like, all right, Johnny, you know what? You're going to take this fucker out. This is on you. And
I mean, he is the only one that can fly, so it kind of falls to him by default.
If he traded powers with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Then, then anybody could have flown,
Also,
I
I
guess.
don't understand how exactly that works,
Oh,
him getting
whatever.
all the powers.
Oh, whatever.
I don't think
whatever.
putting all your hands together
Oh,
does
whatever.
that.
Whatever.
He would only get Ben's powers because I think his hand was on
Power Rangers.
Avengers Assemble.
Avengers! Sans Wagata says on Reddit again, it's probably good for the... Oh, sorry, not probably. Probably good. It's pretty good for the first half or so. The wedding has the Stan Lee cameo of him it says above, I should say, able to get in. I love that because it's a reference to Fantastic Four Annual number 3 where Stan and Jack weren't allowed into the wedding. Comics do that sometimes. Sometimes Jack Kirby and Stan Lee will show up. I guess we should acknowledge
I guess that makes it a little better. I mean, it's a comic reference, so I guess that's fine, but it's still not that great.
I like this, though. Galactus being a fucking cloud is incredibly dumb now, but back then it was only really dumb. Just funny.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
What do you think? Okay, and then I asked for questions too. So here's a question. What do you think about the choice for a villain in the movie? I think Super Skrull would have been a better choice because you could use his powers really creatively, but perhaps I thought Galactus and the Silver Surfer would be easier for audiences to understand. I like Super Skrull. I am sad that we haven't gotten him in a movie, but I think since we have Skrulls in Captain Marvel and in Far From Home...
We are definitely very close, I think, to
Absolutely, yes.
Fantastic Four are going to be in the MCU now, right?
It's coming. It's coming. It hasn't been said, but remember when we got that Phase 4 announcement, he's like, they're definitely on the way.
Yeah.
He's not going to just promise that and not do it.
Yeah. So I think we're definitely close, and I think the villains in this, Doctor Doom is kind of just whatever. He's just there, and then he gets knocked into the ocean. Assumingly rusts at the bottom of the ocean or something, just dies.
Hopefully. I'm sure
He's
if there was a third one, he would come back, probably.
I feel like they tried to set up for another one with that end credit scene.
Kind of post-credit scene. Yeah, I mean, it's like
beginning of the credits.
Incredible Hulk, they do the same thing. Like that movie that's not a post-credit scene. It's just the director credits. Come up, and then it's that. It's like
it was just
weird.
Silver Surfer didn't die, and then they do like a menacing shot of him, even though he's not a villain anymore. Like, right? Is he a villain in the comics?
Who, Silver Surfer?
Yeah.
No, I mean, just at first he's like, yeah, I'm bringing Galactus to the planet, but not because he wants to, it's because that's his job.
So I don't get why they had such like a menacing shot of him in space when he's not a villain. So what was the point?
I think it was just supposed to be like, oh, he's still alive, we can bring him back in a sequel.
Yeah, I guess.
It made me kind of sad at the end of this movie that we didn't get a third one. I have really enjoyed these last two movies.
You know,
they're not good movies, but they're so much fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded a third one. It would have been better than whatever we got.
Oh, geez, yeah, I can't wait for that. But no, I just like the cast in these movies. I don't know, I think that's a really solid team. I hope that whoever we get next will be great. I'm sure it will be.
I think the casting in this for the time was pretty much as good as it was going to get. I think it was pretty perfect for the time.
No, I totally agree with you. Sorry, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not ignoring you.
I think the fan casts for like the new Fantastic Four are also really good.
I want John Krasinski and Emily Blunt for sure. And then
I think John Krasinski is pretty much the absolute best person they could get.
I don't know if you sent this to me or if I just heard it somewhere, but I think Emily Blunt is talking to Marvel right now about something, like some role, and there's no way it's not Sue Storm.
Yeah. I hope it's for Sue Storm.
It has to be. I can't see it being anyone else.
Who
do you want for Johnny and Ben? Because I feel like Ben is kind of up for grabs. I kind of want Zac Efron as Johnny Storm if I had to pick. I think that works a lot.
Yeah, you know what I want? I want Chris Evans back.
Oh, that'd be incredible. But we just benched him. I don't think we can bring him back.
But I think Zac Efron is he'd definitely be one of the top people for it. I couldn't think of what words I was trying to use.
People want Ron Perlman for the Thing, I think they just want him for the voice.
Because that's all that matters for the Thing.
The Thing casting is hard. Like, it's weird because you have to have Human Thing for a little bit. I think they just shouldn't have him in the movie. Because Michael Chiklis is the perfect Human Thing. Like, when I think about Ben Grimm, that's the only image in my head.
He's definitely, like, if... like, Dreamcast is, like, John Krasinski and, like, Michael Chiklis. Like, just...
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'd love that.
That would be amazing. But that isn't gonna happen.
And I'm not looking forward to... Because in Fant 4 Stick, we got a CGI thing, and I know that we'll have another one. That sucks. I really like him being there.
You know, I think...
He's just there, and it's great.
I think the practical effect for Thing looks so much better in this than the first one.
Yeah, it's
but the first one already looked really good.
Yeah, this was a lot easier for him to wear, too.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And then Troidal Power on Twitter, who's like... He's great. He does the podcast Assemble podcast that I was not on enough, but where we talked about Endgame and then Star Wars and stuff. You should be on that Assemble. We should both do it at some point. I always just do it as like a last minute thing. I wasn't on enough. I think I might be on a podcast with him this year at some point, so look out for that.
We'll have fun with that.
Yeah, but he says this was like a week ago almost. He said, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer watched in anticipation of a Marvel movie pod. So that's nice. He watched it for us. I like when we can get people to watch a movie for us. Like, that's really nice.
Or not. I don't think for us. I think
no, but people are like, oh, they're gonna be talking about this. I want to be part of the conversation.
Just us having like an influence on people watching the movies.
Yeah,
either before or after. Like, it gets you to want to watch the movie, so then you do.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
fun.
You hopefully have a good time with it, except for the bad movies.
Yeah, but hopefully you watch those too, because I think it's much better to watch something and then listen to people talk about it and be like, yeah, I felt like that.
Yeah,
than to be like, oh, I've never seen this.
I hope people watched Man-Thing.
That's the one I want people to watch. Remember when Paul just bought it?
Yeah.
I haven't heard back if he's seen it.
I really hope that some of you have watched Man-Thing.
If there's any movie where I'm like, yeah, I would recommend that, not because it's my favorite by a long shot,
just
but
because
just
it's underrated.
It's so underseen. It's easy to like. It's hard to find a DVD, but it's like you can find it on Amazon so easy.
I'm sure you can find it on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, well, don't.
Or just
pay
for
it.
The
Pay for
$3.
it. Go ahead, yeah.
Whoever's getting the money for that movie now, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, who's even making the $3 like every time you buy it?
I don't even know what studio put that movie out.
Was it an independent thing?
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's anyone we know.
Yeah, I don't know who's getting the money for that then. Probably nobody.
Hopefully some of it goes to whoever made that movie.
Going to the government.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, our Man-Thing checks in yet? Yeah, so anyway.
All 50 cents that we made off of Man-Thing on Amazon.
So he says, good. General design of the Surfer, Fantastic Four uniforms, and the Fantastic Car. Agreed. Bad every time Chris Evans was a jerkface in that big space cloud. Yes.
I think Chris Evans...
better in this.
Yeah, I think he was definitely a lot more bearable in this because he wasn't a total dickhead the entire time.
Yeah.
In the last one, that was just him. But in this, I feel like he doesn't take everything as a joke. He still is the main comic relief, but there's still moments where like he's actually a character and not just there to make everyone mad and to annoy the audience.
Which is why I like that he gets to save the day at the end, kind of. Because it's like, oh, good. Because I like this character now. Yeah, and I like that moment he has with Sue, where it's like, oh, you guys
you're actually
siblings. Yeah, I know. I like that. Luke, oh, God damn it, Luke. I love when you write in because you always say good stuff, but I can't pronounce your last name. Luke O says, because he is basically Chrome, if he ever jerked it, he'd be literally polishing his knob. That's a Paul level comment right there. Thank you. Thank you, Luke. You're the best. Sorry, Paul. Alex Funder says, I recently watched it for the first time. It was awful. Sue was treated so poorly, it's disgusting. Also, spoilers, Silver Surfer only changes his tune because Sue reminds him of his girlfriend. Are you serious? Exactly what we said, yes.
Yeah.
She's not well handled in this, unfortunately. That character is never
literally
given
everything involving with Sue is very poorly
in any movie, really.
Yeah.
And in the comics a lot. Like, she's just...
It's because she's a woman.
Do you watch I don't watch the show enough, but do you ever watch Venture Brothers?
I have not seen a single episode.
Okay. They do... I mean, sometimes they'll be like there's a crew in that's like a surrogate Scooby-Doo crew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, but they're all kind of crazy. There's a Fantastic Four in that show, and it's like... Reed is super abusive, and Sue is like really quiet and like scared of Reed all the time. Like, it's really dark, but I like that. It's really it's funny.
Going somewhere, Sally?
I just have to pick a few things up at the store, Richard.
Stuffing nonsense. I'll send a man out.
Because it's like, yeah, if you read a lot of comics, that's what it's like. Because Reed's a fucking monster.
Well, I don't think comics ever do relationships very well, just in general.
I mean, now they do. But I know you're thinking of Hank Pym slapping his wife.
Yeah,
so we've gotten a lot better.
There's a lot of... Okay, back then. We've gotten better now. But I mean, like, early comics.
For sure. It's still like Peter Parker's dating 6 chicks at a time.
Yeah. Like, that's weird.
It was the culture. I don't know.
Yeah,
Here's
not
photo
great.
for you, by the way.
Yeah,
I just wanted to show you again.
I love it so much.
Okay. Paul time, and then we can finish this off and talk about our special episode.
Number one fan.
We love you, Paul. I thought it was okay the last time I watched it, about 4 years ago. Maybe it was longer. Johnny Storm is good. Classic Ben doesn't want to be the thing and then does, which we talked about, especially in that episode where we talked about the last Fantastic Four movie, and we were talking about like how that's a big character moment for him, like accepting who he is, and then how in this movie it's just like, oh, it'd be funny if he was happy that he was Ben again. It's like, it's not the point. Kind of dumb and weird.
Thanks for undoing all of his character development from the first movie. Thank you very much, movie.
Thank you. Oh, he also says Blind Owl want that swing. Or, sorry. Why did you like that? Man,
Take 2.
Blind Owl wants that thing schmeat. That's what I meant to say, so I was close.
It's not any better.
Yeah, so, there's only 3 blind characters in the entire Marvel Universe. Matt Murdock, Blind Owl, and Alicia Masters. I think that is referencing that joke that we mentioned earlier. Yeah, rock slides. Galactus was shit. Doom was good. Liked him stealing the surfboard. Thanks, Paul. Surf's up.
Surf's up, metalhead!
I know he says it in the movie. I watched it this morning.
I am okay.
Every time.
I'm gonna say I'm so sure that he doesn't say it.
Surf's up, metalhead!
He probably says it.
Here's the clip again.
Surf's up, metalhead!
I'm like 55% sure.
I am 99% sure he says it.
I can't wait to either be proven so wrong.
Surf's up, metalhead!
Or to be 100% right.
If you're 100% right, none of this is going in the show because I can do that.
Damn it. Yeah. For a second, I forgot that you are literally the editor of the show.
That's me.
Well, you know what? There goes the flow of the episode because there's going to be so many cuts of us just talking about, or well, not talking about, but just kind of like we have conversations and they're just gone.
Oh, okay. Paul did send me the voice clip. I think people
good.
sent in more voice clips.
Do you have a group chat? And is there multiple?
Movie. Everyone you want to see. Also that you don't want to see. Every Marvel movie. Watch the movies. The movies with me. With me. Watch them with me.
Oh my god,
Wait,
we have
there's more.
Yeah, there's more.
It's the show, the Marvel show. Watch the movies in the Marvel show. Have you seen every Marvel movie? Neither have we yet.
There's another one.
I can hear the drums echoing tonight.
Love her.
30 flight. Serengeti. Serengeti. To say, hi boys, we're waiting there for you. I'll take a lot to watch every Marvel movie. Gonna watch every Marvel movie that there ever be. Is it everything a Marvel movie? I'm gonna watch every one and then I gotta pee. And take a shit.
Thank you, Marshall Parrish,
I
for the
hope-
most amazing things I've ever heard in my life.
I hope.
There's more.
Oh my god. I hope that the microphones are catching all this over our mental breakdowns, over how fucking amazing our our listeners are.
You know, when we started the show, I was like, this will be some fun, and I don't think that anyone's gonna really care.
Yeah,
but this is incredible.
Look how far we've come. We started this expecting not a single soul to be listening to us ramble on for like an hour and a half about a bunch of movies that nobody's ever seen. Look where we are now.
That's incredible.
People singing Africa, but with the lyrics
about
changed
us. About
to
us.
be about our show.
Thank you, guys. We love you. That honestly makes me happy.
Yeah, you
like,
know
I'm
what?
going to cry. Like that's.
You know what? Here's 2 more clips.
Marvel movie dun, 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 to every one of them, even the bad ones. Dun, dun.
One more. I can't believe it.
One more.
How do I pick an intro? Why can we just alternate every
Yeah,
week?
we can just alternate.
Who watches every Marvel movie? Who watches every Marvel movie? Who?
We do.
Jesus
sadly.
Christ, it's us. It's us. Oh my God. We have people wanting to write orchestral themes for us.
Fucking way.
Because I have some composer friends in here.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus. It's just the best people in the world. It's just my favorite people ever. I love you all. Marshall.
You know, we don't say it enough that we appreciate every single person that listens to us.
I'm telling him that we love him.
Yeah, you know, of all the people that could decide to listen to us, I'm glad that we have listeners like you guys.
Yeah, okay. Both Pauls, Paul Kag and Paul Brennan, Marshall Parrish, who just sang like 5 different themes for us. Noah Solzman, who is great, and actually he's recently been trying to challenge Paul for the
number
best
one fan?
listener. Yeah, so we have some fighting going on, and just all these amazing people that I love so much. Thank you guys. That's absolutely incredible.
You gotta add me to this group chat. I need to see this.
It's amazing. It's so fucking great. We can't finish any stronger than that. That is a wrap.
You know what? That's
Everything else we have to say, it doesn't matter.
well, I don't know about that.
Other than that, I mean, anything we have to say with the movie,
Okay.
fuck it.
Yeah, I think we've gotten everything that we wanted to say out of the way anyway.
Absolutely. Okay, so you can say it.
So our special episode that will be out in the next couple days, hopefully.
Absolutely.
We got the very special chance to interview the stunt double for a couple different superhero people, I guess, but probably most known for Chris Evans. We got to interview Sam Hargrave, and he's amazing.
He was absolutely incredible. He has coordinated stunts on tons of stuff. He's the second unit director for so many things. We talk about some of the incredibly special moments in Marvel movies that make all of us go, holy shit, that's what superhero movies are all about.
And
that he directed.
He was either he directed it or he was part of it. He was in it. He did it.
Yeah, he's an amazing person.
Yeah,
it was
he's
such an opportunity.
So nice, and we can't say enough how much we appreciate him coming on the show, especially with the show being the show.
Thank you so much, Sam, if you're listening to this, which you're
listening.
not, but thank
Yeah.
you for being on our show. We
Hopefully
had such a blast talking to you.
Hopefully it gets to you in one way or another that we appreciate you coming on the show and talking to us for like half an hour.
We were recording both of these very special episodes because now after those themes, I consider this a very special
Yes.
episode. On Super Bowl. So should we just do a quick score check as people who don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl?
Sure,
I don't even
yeah.
know the other team that's playing other than the 49ers.
I don't know either of the teams that are playing, and honestly, I could care less about football.
Okay, it's 3-10 right now. 49ers are not doing so good. And
Did it just start?
The Chiefs are winning. It's only 3-10. So
Yeah,
how long has this been on?
That score is so low. It has to have just started
It looks like it's been on for a little while. It's been on for about an hour.
It's 3-10 after an hour.
Yep. Looks like our boys 'cause we're from California. So, you gotta at least be like, let's hope that we win. Looks like our boys aren't gonna pull through. But, crazier things have happened. I'm saying this as someone who doesn't care.
Yeah,
I'm just very starstruck about Sam Hargrave and so happy that we had all those themes. I'm in a very good mood right now.
Today's been a very special day for the podcast.
Wonderful
for sure.
day. MCU.
Yeah, MCU.
This episode, Sam Hargrave, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. Thank you guys.
We're finally getting there.
Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Marvel Movie Pod. You can email us at marvelmoviepod@gmail.com, especially if you have any new theme songs or anything that you want us to do.
Anything at all to
Oh
say.
my God.
Please tell us in any way, shape, or form. We have a lot of ways you can do it.
We have so many ways. You can find me on Instagram at FlipDegg. You can find me on Twitter at FlipDegg with the E and Egg is a 3. Franny is the Herald of Galactus and has no social media.
I am currently turning the planet into a bowling ball. So
Is it like Cool Comic Galactus or is it Big Space Cloud?
it's big red and green Galactus. Actually,
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
That's literally worse than the fucking Space Cloud.
Well, you know what? That's his true form.
Okay.
And you know what? Because you insulted him.
I'm first?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'll get him to take you specifically. Then the rest.
It's gonna take a lot to drive me away from you.
Thank you for listening to our amazing podcast.
Do 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 do.